We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship to the exoplanet K218b. Dear God, why do I look like Jeff the Killer right now? But we're taking this little journey into space because the James Webb Telescope is the gift that keeps on giving. It might as well be Santa Claus with the amount of presents that it keeps bestowing onto us. Because it discovered methane, carbon dioxide in the atmosphere of this exoplanet known as K218b. Now, what exactly does that mean? They discovered methane and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere of some random exoplanet. Cool magic words, science man. Explain it to me. Break it down to the molecular level. That was a smooth sentence. Basically what it means is that this planet potentially has oceans on it and could harbor life. And this image right here gives you a good idea of what the planet would look like. Of course, it's not a real picture, it's an artist's conception because we don't have an actual picture of the planet. But as we can see, this is from NASA's official website. This is an actual article they put out on the planet. The exoplanet is 8.6 times as massive as Earth, which means it's pretty large. Typically, planets that large are gas giants or they're not in the same form as Earth. But this one out here seems to be very similar to Earth. It revealed that it had a presence of carbon-bearing molecules, including methane and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And this discovery only adds to recent studies that suggested that this planet could be a Haitian exoplanet, which just means that it has the potential to possess hydrogen as well as an ocean on the planet. And this is a pretty massive story, and I haven't really seen anybody talking about it. They're all busy talking about that ufologist showing alien corpses to the Mexican Congress. And I understand it's a goofy story, but this is something real and something that could genuinely change everything we know about the universe. It could be potentially the first exoplanet we find that has a very high likelihood of harboring life, which is exciting. It's super exciting. I'm almost getting hard thinking about it. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring boners into space, but it's just the truth, man. And of course, I should mention that the James Webb Telescope isn't the one that discovered this planet, K218b. We've known about the existence of this exoplanet for quite some time because it was discovered by the Hubble telescope, you know, the grandfather of all space telescopes. It's pretty much what we owe everything to in terms of pushing the frontier of space exploration. And then the James Webb Telescope just only took what was great from the Hubble telescope and built upon that exponentially. But to also read you all the personal information of this exoplanet, K218b, you know, just straight up dox it, tell you every bit of information about it. It orbits a cool dwarf star, K218, in the habitable zone. It lies in the habitable zone relatively how Earth is in the habitable zone of our star. And it exists about 120 light years from Earth in the constellation Leo. And to read a quote from one of the astronomers who are kind of, you know, heading this operation, the exploration of this planet, they said, "Our findings underscore the importance of considering diverse habitable environments in the search for life elsewhere," explained Niku, not even going to try it, an astronomer at the University of Cambridge and lead author of the paper announcing these results. Traditionally, the search for life on exoplanets has focused primarily on smaller rocky planets, but the larger Haitian worlds are significantly more conducive to atmospheric observations. And that is worth talking about. It makes sense that we're mainly focusing on smaller rocky planets when it comes to searching for life elsewhere in the universe, because it's similar to Earth. Earth is a small rocky planet. But that's just from our own knowledge. From human knowledge, that's what life needs to survive. We need oxygen and all this kind of stuff in the atmosphere to live on the planet. But that potentially wouldn't be the case for alien life. We don't know what other life forms need to survive because we haven't found any other life, which brings in the whole Fermi paradox. You can go down a whole rabbit hole there. But pretty much the point I'm trying to make is that life could come in all shapes and sizes. If the universe is infinite or nearly infinite, then pretty much the possibilities are endless, and life should take every shape, size, and form. But just basing on things that we know from our own human knowledge, our human databases, it makes sense to just typically go for the rocky planets, but now they're actually going and looking at these Haitian planets, which is proving to be very rewarding. But it says that the abundance of methane and carbon dioxide on K2-18b and the shortage of ammonia support the hypothesis that there may be a water ocean underneath a hydrogen-rich atmosphere on the planet, which is very exciting news, because if there is, then that means it has a good composition for life, similar to what it takes for life to exist on Earth. And it said that these initial observations also provided a possible detection of DMS, or whatever that word is, dimethyl sulfide. And on Earth, this is only produced by life. This is only produced when there's life on Earth. So if there is DMS on this planet, that could be a very big indicator that there's also life on this planet. And here's a little picture of atmosphere composition of the exoplanet. You can kind of look at it. It's the wavelength of light in microns on the bottom, and then the amount of light blocked on the left side here, presented percentages from 0.28 to 0.31, and then the microns from 1 to 5. I'm not going to act like I understand all this. I roughly get the idea, but honestly, I don't understand it enough to talk about it. But to read another quote about this planet from people involved in the situation, they said, although this kind of planet does not exist in our solar system, sub-Neptunes are the most common type of planet known so far in the galaxy. And just in case you don't know what a sub-Neptune is, it refers to a planet with a smaller radius than Neptune, even though it may have a larger mass, or to a planet with a smaller mass than Neptune, even though it may have a larger radius. But to hop back to this quote here, they said, we have obtained the most detailed spectrum of a habitable zone sub-Neptune to date, and this allowed us to work out the molecules that exist in its atmosphere. And now this situation does involve a whole lot more astrophysicist astronomy things, like using the light from the stars to do this, the wavelengths, all this kind of stuff, getting into the real nitty-gritty scientific mumbo jumbo that I quite frankly don't understand, which is why I'm not talking about it. I'm calling them nerds because I'm not smart enough to understand what they're talking about, and I don't want to sound like a blubbering buffoon and just read this article to you directly, because you can read it yourself. I wanted to talk about the situation from stuff I kind of understand, and just because it's an exciting thing to talk about. The James Webb Telescope discovered things on an exoplanet that could heavily suggest life existing there, or the potential for life to exist on this planet. It just really goes to show that the James Webb Telescope is one of the greatest inventions throughout all of human history, even greater than the butt plug. It's an amazing scientific feat. And throughout all these discoveries, all these amazing findings in the universe, we still haven't found alien life yet, or other life besides ourselves. So maybe it's right beyond our grasp. It's right on the tip of our tongue. And maybe the breakthrough is going to come very soon. But I'll catch you in the next one.